This is the one that I picked specifically for Hannah Claire because she loves talking about award shows. She does.
I'm taking a pretty intense stance on this. That's the one thing about being on this show. Like, I think, I'll read articles, have opinions, but getting to talk about them, like, repeatedly over the course of months, I did not realize how intensely anti-award show I would become.
But another thing about being on this show is that Brett is going to psychologically torture you with the topics.
I think we do it back to him, though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's only fair.
There have been a few where I've gotten some sass back that I didn't appreciate.
What we like to do to Brett is to talk incessantly right up until the point that we go live, at which point Brett puts on his best dad
Today
face.
it was just me.
He goes, his best dad face, and goes, hey, we're going live. And we go,
less than 30
"Whoa."
seconds.
And then I sit here and quietly laugh hysterically.
It's not fair. It's not fair. So it says British Independent Film Awards move to gender-neutral acting categories, which I think there's a conflict in the way they view the world for a lot of this, because to me, I was thinking, like, they don't have best male cinematographer. They don't have the best male director or the best female director. It really is mainly it's just for the acting and actress category, but they don't even like being referred to as actresses. They prefer that they use the gender neutral term of actor for both. So there's a weird,
which also goes against the principle of of calling humanity instead of mankind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all just like so convoluted that you can't even keep up with their own.
Also, this is the hill you guys have to die on. Like,
right.
There are so many big issues in the world.
As I said, like, their pet issue. You pick one and you just stick to it.
But sometimes I think that's the problem. Like, we're willing to be like, okay, this is really not that big a deal. Like, we'll let this go. But then they kind of get control of language and then you have to comply with it.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I have been saying for, like, it's not the kind of thing, like, I'm just going to use the word actress because that's grammatically correct. Like, let's not make more of this than it is.
But they're taking away opportunities from people here.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if they are. I mean, at first when I read this, I thought, like,
if there's
okay, you're just not going to do, like, pandering things about the best women who did this. When
if there's a best actor category and a best actress category, that's 10 nominees for each category, right?
And
now it's just one.
Awards.
Now it's just one award.
I get that,
with
but
10
that's
nominees.
also inflating people's accomplishments and separating people in a situation where it doesn't make sense. Like, in a sport category, yeah, you should delineate between men's sports and women's sports because there are physical differences. But then in acting and performing, there's no inherent advantage or disadvantage that anyone has as a man or a woman and how well you can perform.
Could there be an argument made that the best woman portraying a woman, like they're portraying different? I know that Hollywood would hate this concept, that they're portraying different genders, therefore the roles will be different. So you're portraying the best person portraying that gender,
but
right?
I feel
you
like
have to recognize they're not separating it based on that. They're separating it to appear more equitable.
No, I think I would argue they're actually probably trying to mesh it together to make it gender neutral so that later when you have a trans person who plays a different category, you don't know where to put them and you don't want to set up anyone. So it just turns out that we all are in the same category.
So on the off chance that eventually, whenever that happens.
I have another second point. My other thing is I think that they're doing this because award shows are failing. They're always failing. They're losing viewership. And so this cuts down on the amount of time and money they have to spend on them. The broadcast is going to be shorter because they're doing fewer presentations.
That was actually the first comment on here that says, seriously, just to make the show shorter.
Yeah, stop trying to pretend this is like,
Well,
so
I'm
we're
confused.
like, oh, we don't live in a gendered world. It's because
why did anyone care about award shows in the first place? That viewership would be dropping only now.
No, it's been dropping for years.
There used to be a lot more celebrity like, for as weird as celebrity worship is now, celebrity worship has moved online.
And you have to remember that like there was a time before social media gave you the access to celebrities that it does now. Like if you only saw an actress in the 80s, like when she did when the paparazzi took pictures of her, when she made appearances at red carpets.
Or
like,
when the
I
movie
would never
came out.
watch a red carpet. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. But at one point in time, they didn't have their own Instagram page to post pictures themselves.
Yeah.
And so that's how people felt like they were getting exposure to them.
Because you don't need to watch anything live anymore.
No.
So do you guys
Absolutely
think
not.
this is a good thing or a bad? I mean, outside of like the length of the show, I'm saying, do you think that
I
they're
think it's a like tricky maneuver. They're presenting it as like, look, we're so smart, like we believe in gender equality, and really it's like, good, that'll save us like $1 million.
these people are obsessed with men with first female to do this, first person of this group to do that.
Just arbitrary
They
milestones.
love
just
arbitrary
getting too
milestones.
complicated, though.
So it seems like it's almost in contradiction with how they view the world, which is almost entirely based on immutable characteristics and stuff you can't control, because they love to virtue signal about that. But then they're taking opportunities away from women. Okay, for instance, if we were just talking about big blockbuster movies which involve explosions and all this stuff, naturally more of those roles go to men because that is a more traditionally masculine role. Now we do know that, yes, we're in the ass queen slay age of like women. One woman beats up 6 Navy SEALs because for every pound she is under 99 pounds is another Navy SEAL she can beat up, even though that makes no sense. I know, but the
I want a
idea.
movie like that, but actually instead of beating one up, she falls in love and marries him, and then leaves her
We could,
assassin job.
it would probably do really well
Yeah.
because that would actually
No
be,
one take my idea.
that would be what would be subverting expectations now. If like they actually act, if the guys acted
so
like,
much funnier.
if the dudes acted like dudes and the women acted like women, that would, people would be like, whoa.
She like renounces her feminist ways and like has a bunch of kids.
I was watching when I watched Reacher. I'm like I was like, the guy's like a masculine dude and he's not an idiot, and the girl's like, oh my god, the masculine dude who's good at stuff is attractive. I'm like, I'm just waiting for her to be like, and I don't need no man. She never said that. It blew my mind. That subverted my expectations. So what do they do? Do you think that it was wrong to get rid of this category, or should they have kept it?
You know, I think that award shows are dying. So in some ways that this is like a novelty. Like I don't, if there really are, for whatever reason, genuinely pursuing equitable representation of people, right? Like you're saying, they don't have a best female cinematographer, best male costume designer, right? Those ones, because those industries are more select, they're not gendered in any way. So they either could have done the opposite and been like, okay, so we have female and male categories for everything, down to the very smallest, like best intern on a whatever, best male and best female. But I think ultimately they're trying to avoid having to deal with the issue of a transgender actor being entered as a nominee,
Which is
and
how
this
we
heads
know.
it off as a
Interesting.
path.
Like, because on the surface it looks less pandery.
Yeah.
Nope, it's super pandery.
But we will. That's funny because we have this. I left Bette Midler out of the "Woe Is Me America" subject. She had some tweets that were very J.K. Rowling-esque. One might even call her.
She's
a
in turf.
She's in turf territory.
Why did J.K. Rowling like seem to invent speaking out against like
She's just,
compelled speech and like language requirements?
I think because she had been doing so many kind of woke-ish things for a while there, people didn't expect it, so it
Yeah.
really shattered their like view of like this author who actually
Yeah.
owes them nothing.
So here Bette Midler says, women of the world, we are being stripped of our rights over our bodies, our lives, even our name. They don't call us women anymore. They call us birthing people or menstruators or even people with vaginas. Don't let them erase you. Every human being on earth owes you. Remember, Bette Midler probably won a Best Actress Oscar at some point, I'm sure. Would she have won the same thing if it was just the Best Actor category and not both, right? And then she goes, and then they point out J.K. Rowling, people who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wumben, Wimpond,
Wimbledon, I think.
Wimbledon. And then we have, and it's not just her, Macy Gray, which I don't know if anybody here is old enough to remember who Macy Gray was, but she was a musician. She still is a musician.
She was.
She still is. She still
Brett
is.
fired her.
She says, the I Try hitmaker insists she wasn't defining trans women, just women, after saying on Piers Morgan Uncensored, who is canceling cancel culture.
Oh yeah, he's cancel culture Jesus, right?
Yeah.
That
Remember
favorite too.
the
Yeah.
icon,
I
the
haven't thought
legend,
about him in a while.
the man, the myth.
just because you go and change your parts, it doesn't make you a woman. That is a hot, spicy take in
Which is
2022.
actually basic and like it's so spicy.
Well, it's something you hear in real life when you're around normal people.
Yeah.
but if you
It's
see
so
it on
logical, it hurts. You know what I
Pierce
mean?
Morgan uncensored, ooh, it's a different story. We're all like shocked.
She's gonna have to line up with J.K. Rowling and
just-
Bette Midler, and one's a writer, one's a musician, one's an actor. They can form their own little weird
This
feminist
musical
justice
is going to
league.
be amazing.
It'll be amazing.
What bothers me about all of this is that they're just cannibalizing themselves all the time. Like even Bette Midler's tweet, she's saying it in the context of Roe v. Wade. She said, "We're being stripped of our rights over our bodies." But then she's cloaking that in a way to like push back on the trans inclusive language requirements that we have now.
Yep.
You can only protest against one thing that doesn't make sense in the name of something else that doesn't make sense.
It is a self like they just
Like-
literally eat their own
And
arguments.
then with the film awards thing, they originally implemented the delineation of like best female this, best female that, because they were trying to appear more equitable and woke, like for their day.
because they wanted to make
And
sure women
then-
got an award too.
Then they got rid of it again to adapt to the constantly changing
You can't win.
expectations and standards of their own that they are imposing on everyone else and themselves. Like it's completely cannibalizing themselves all the time.
So maybe they don't have categories anymore. There's no more like best documentary, no more best movie. It's just best movie, and all movie categories go in that one. It's just it's not best director in a documentary or best director in a motion picture or best, because there are separate categories for director or even sound design. Like it's not best cinematographer in this and that. You have to now just do all one award, and only one person wins an award every year. In the name of fairness.
But it's weird because we used to be like, oh, all those
you.
all of those parents just want to give all their kids participation trophies, and now we're like, only one award, may the best win. Like we're really all over
Best
the map
person.
here.
only one award and everyone wins it.
Yeah, or only one award and only one person wins it, even though you're all trying to get awards. Like maybe all these like, well, first we're gonna have best picture of the year or whatever, and then it's like, well, best like action and then comedy, and like they broke it down, and then it became like, oh well, we'll break it down even more. Like maybe we're returning to a place where we're like, no, we need one specific winner. We cannot handle all of these options.
And there's still no award for best stuntman.
Yeah,
In
like
an
that's
industry
the
that
thing.
like literally
Because the
survives.
whole point of it is you're only giving awards to people who are obsessed with like self-aggrandizing.
Also, you mean stunt person, right?
Yes, I did. I meant stunt person.
I think Bette Midler is. I tend to think she's actually just kind of being a boomer here, and she's
Totally.
like,
Boomer.
she's like kind of just very upset about all of the things, and so it's not that she's like the trans thing and the Roe thing, and we just need to be more traditional feminists, which I assume she was in her day. I don't care about Bette Midler. I liked when she and Governor Jim Justice were kind of having a back and forth. That was hilarious to me.
Macy Gray also deleted the tweets, so it just proves that they don't even stand by their words. The stunt thing's funny because I was rewatching one of my favorite movies of all time this weekend. It's called Rad. It was a biking movie from the 80s. It was like the thing that got me into action sports, like when you're really young and at a really impressionable age. And back then, there just wasn't any female BMXers that were up to the skill level of the people who did the stunts in that movie. It's by a guy named Dave Fiola. And there's a scene where Lori Loughlin is in that movie. It's and she's like very young in that movie, and it's very clearly Dave Fiola with the worst wig you've ever seen on, wearing like mid height boots and white pants, and it's like the legs are enormous compared to like what Lori Loughlin's legs look like, and it's just so nowadays you would have to have one of both genders, otherwise it wouldn't work. Also, a movie that was once considered so bad by Talia Shire that she bought the rights to it so it couldn't be released.
Really?
Yep.
What a bold move.
She just recently allowed them to put it out on streaming. So.
She's like, I've worked through this. I'm okay with you guys.
She's old now. And Lori Loughlin just got out of jail and went to her first red carpet after the loan or the education scandal thing. Yeah,
That's a redemption arc.
yeah. I love a good redemption story.
I feel like her daughter didn't suffer enough.
She's like, I didn't
like,
want to go to
No,
college
okay,
anyway.
That's why I don't like. Olivia Jade didn't really do anything wrong because she didn't even want to go to school.
She was very clearly
yeah,
didn't
but
want to
like
go to school.
she didn't have to pose for the rowing photos. Like she didn't have to go to college. She's 18. She could have dropped out. She stayed in.
She has like basically no self-determination though. Like if your
feel
parents
that.
are that
Weird.
involved. I don't know.
Super chats.
Taryn Jones said, jurors are chosen from voter rolls, so probably accurate. Also, Hannah Claire had me imagining McGruff showing up for jury duty.
That's incredible.
That's what I think happened,
That's what
guys.
we want.
Forget this 1945 red herring.
Thank
It's
you.
actually a dog.
We are getting right by us. We are right by a crisis
We're so
party.
close to a crisis party.
Okay, I'm gonna
So much muttering of you guys. Crisis party, crisis party.
next one.
Dragon's Talon 1001 said, best movie documentary director for women's issues, Matt Walsh for What is a Woman.
I can guarantee. I'm not a.
We love you.
I am not one who predicts the future, but I can predict with fair certainty that he will not win any awards for that documentary
But
from
also,
mainstream Hollywood.
Do we even want awards from
No,
mainstream
we do
Hollywood?
not.
Like,
No, we
if
do
they
not.
gave him an award, that would like invalidate what he's doing, right? Like,
True.
we don't really. It's like
I don't think he's the type of person that even needs approval. Like, the more people he upsets, the better.
Yeah. Also, like, if it's an institution you don't respect, if they don't respect you, you still don't care, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he gets like more like low key and kind of bored looking the angrier he gets? Like as he gets angrier,
I've
his
never
eyes
seen
grow
Matt Walsh angry.
his eyes grow softer as he gets angrier.
I've seen Ben Shapiro angry.
Yes.
Weird.
Somebody recently posted, they're like, this is what happens when you debate with Ben Shapiro, and they showed that one time he lost control with like Piers Morgan over like gun control.
I think Matt Walsh probably is the kind of dad that says like, I'm not angry, I'm just extremely disappointed, and then his kids like burst into tears, you know,
I would.
like so cool and controlled.
All right, there's one more there.
Well,
Two more.
I have one from Bad App.
Thank you.
Ooh, what is happening?
Are curse words allowed in super chats, by the way? Because I'm like, why are you using so many weird like substitution words?
Well, if they're looking out for us, they're looking out for us. They're making
Well,
sure
thank you,
we
Bad
don't
App.
swear. Thank you. Thank you.
Would you rather Amber chud your bed or watch Lightyear?
I would rather watch Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, but if I had to choose between the two, I would probably watch Lightyear.
No cheating.
Zing, got him. They didn't specify.
Newt said, how about even better? We get rid of these dumb award shows.
You're not
Hey, that was my
wrong.
idea first.
You are not wrong, my friend.
I think it's a petition I'll start to send to Joe Biden, who will definitely take it seriously.
There was a really funny one to like. I love when they try to like legitimize, not to get political, when they're like, James Corden visits the Oval Office with Joe Biden and brightens it up by posting a Harry Styles picture on his desk, and Joe Biden just looks really confused and like, who the hell is Harry Styles? Like,
He's like,
so
"This is one of my
He's
grandchildren."
like,
such
who is
a
BTS? Who is
Also, like,
Harry Styles?
stop trying to bring celebrities in the White House to make it seem interesting.
Olivia Rodrigo was like the last straw for me. Like, stop immediately.
Yep.
They've all been bad. There's never been one person that's been in there that I'm like, oh, you're elegant and graceful and representing our cultural and artistic interests in our country. Every single one, I'm like, man, White House didn't pay enough. Like, they're
It was
really
just
being cheap
creepy.
here.
Like, the Olivia Rodrigo one was so that they could like boost Gen Z vaccination rates, which is just like, what?
Creepy.
St. Miles said, let's party.
It's on a timer, so it will go soon.
Thank you for giving us a crisis
Thank
party,
you.
sir.
Oh, cool.
Dragon's Talon 1001 said, Brett, I loved you in the movie Better Off Dead. Can you say your tagline for us? Come on, I want my $2, LMAO.
Am I?
You're in a movie?
I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't either.
Did I fall and get a concussion?
Real quick, super chat what he's supposed to say, and we'll read it out loud.
I'm afraid that Brett isn't in on the inside joke.
I'm not.
It's so in. Fred is outside.
It's so in that I'm literally on the outside.
I'm gonna
like,
just start making a movie title. Brett, I loved you in Backyard Wars. Can you say your line for me?
that's
again?
not a thing. There's no movie called Backyard Wars.
That's a joke, Brett.
Could have been a pro wrestling show back in the day. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.